Symphony Privet, thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with some uplifting stories from across the country. Now, the force is strong at an elementary school in Minnesota. Kids are channeling their inner Jedi inside this gym, and for good reason. Sammy Selena shows us how they are learning deeper lessons as they battle it out with foam lightsabers.
Bus A! Bus A!
A long time ago, in a school not so far, far away.
That was a good trick.
Students have plenty of options for their after-school program.
Check.
Chess.
It's just like using your brain.
Art.
Are you satisfied and happy with your drawing?
Or
Next, ask if your fighters are ready.
training to fight the Sith Lord.
Good versus bad with swords that can cut you in half.
Randolph Heights Elementary School offers lightsaber fencing through community education after school classes.
I get to hang out with my friends. Personally, I really like Star Wars.
I wanted to join it because it was the best out of everything else.
Yes.
And you two are gonna fight, and I'm gonna ref over here.
Coach Walker,
Okay.
no relation to Skywalker, knows how it looks.
At first glance, it does seem like just a, beat 'em up sport.
But he says there's more to it.
One of the biggest things that we learn in this class is that self-restraint. Because you can't just go in there and, you need to know when to wait. You need to know when to strike.
Ready. Fence.
Braden Walker says his class is kind of like the movies themselves. Chaos on the surface,
All right.
with some deeper lessons.
It doesn't come down to Luke beating Vader with a lightsaber. And I think so much of Star Wars is about connection and about connecting to others. And I think that's why it's lasted so long.
Don't forget to tuck in mask.
Lessons they will take with them, not just force.
May the Force be with you.
That's awesome. I know some adult Star Wars fans that would love to sign up for that experience. That was Sammy Selena reporting. Alrighty, let's hit the field now to meet a coach who is leading an all-female Frisbee team with passion. That's not the only thing she's passionate about. Christine Patanowicz takes us over to Oregon to show us how she is helping build confidence in kids.
Sound good? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to go.
Here at Oak Hills Elementary School in Beaverton.
All right, let's do those power skips. Good job.
Kids in this PE class are busy.
Are you guys ready to wow everybody with your amazing plank form? Yeah. Let's do it.
Building confidence.
Say, I am strong.
I am strong.
I am capable.
I am capable.
I can do hard things.
I can do hard things.
I love getting to see what kids are capable of. My name is Chelsea Putnam, and I'm a PE teacher here. Just getting people to feel like they can connect with their body and the way that they feel strong and confident, and then they can take those skills into the classroom and into the world. It just like makes my PE teacher heart burst.
Putnam lives and breathes that passion, whether she's at work or outside on the field with her ultimate Frisbee team, Oregon Soar.
We're a brand new team.
Oregon Soar is the only all-women's professional ultimate team in the state, with players from Portland, Eugene, Corvallis, Bend, and even one who flies in from out of state.
We are a state full of grit and resilience, and we work really hard and we play really hard defense.
As one of 3 coaches, Putnam's credentials are impressive. She's played for 25 years and represented the United States on the national team during the World Games in Taiwan back in 2009.
The World Games is like our Olympics, and so we got to win a gold medal.
She says ultimate is a dynamic sport with something for just about everyone.
It's a combination of a lot of sports you've seen before. It's set up like a football field with end zones. The defense is a lot like basketball. The cutting's a lot like soccer or lacrosse.
The new team forming at a time when women's sports is booming.
Let's go. It's so exciting. And what's cool is this is a women and non-binary league, so it's a place that's really safe for everybody to be who they are.
Back in PE class at Oak Hills, the overlap between Putnam's coaching and teaching is clear.
I really pride myself on just being unique and being who I am, and that's something I try to bring to my students too. It's just everybody be proud of who you are. We're all different and unique, and we all have something that we can bring to the world. So I just feel really proud of what our kids are capable of, and I hope one day maybe they can join us on Oregon Soar when they get older.
In Beaverton, Christine Patanowicz.
Well, Chelsea proves you don't have to just choose one passion. You can embrace them all. Now get this, not only is she a coach, a teacher of 20 years, but she is also a personal trainer and a mother of 3. Oh my goodness, I don't know how she does it all, but kudos to her. Now a man is running toward a different goal in Pennsylvania. His plans of playing soccer were suddenly interrupted by a genetic condition that impacted his sight. Lauren Bradford shares how he turned his vision loss into a new beginning.
Nick Spohn's life drastically changed the summer heading into his freshman year of high school.
I was diagnosed with Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy, also known as LHON, which is a genetic condition that causes a gradual partial loss in central vision.
That vision loss kept him from playing the only sport he knew, soccer.
I remember my high school soccer coach telling me privately how this is a gift, that, you know, my vision loss is a gift. And at the time I was seething with anger inside, to be completely honest, because it seemed like anything but a gift.
The year after Nick lost his sight, I had him in adaptive physical education class, and we kicked around like what maybe he could do to fill that niche that was missing, that he can't play soccer anymore.
My phys ed teacher and I went to the high school track, and we looked to see if that was something that I could do independently, and I'm able to see the white lines of the track and the reddish brown contrast of the track, so that worked out well for me.
In fact, it worked out so well he decided to challenge himself even more and go out for cross country the following fall. The only difference, this time, he wasn't running alone.
My guide runner would hold one end of the rope and I would hold the other, and so we would be running together, and if there was, let's say, a route ahead, they would say, tree route ahead in 3, 2, 1, and so then I would know to change my footing.
While it took time to adjust to running with someone else, Nick was able to build lasting relationships with those by his side.
I think those cross-country races help build a camaraderie or a really close friendship. I'm still friends with my guide runners from college, and I'm very thankful for that.
Out of school now, Nick has once again had to adapt, finding new ways to continue to run without any assistance, crediting God with helping him use his circumstances as a way to encourage others.
Nick's Nick, and it's him who's doing all the amazing things. You know, we help as many people as we can along the line, and once in a while one just shines, and that's Nick. I always said that Nick, from the time he lost his sight, he started focusing on what he can do, not what he can't do. And so he focused on his ability more than his disability, and that's Nick.
That was a great story from Lauren Bradford. Now, for most of us, going out to eat is a pretty simple task, but for people with disabilities, it often comes with challenges. Caribe Divine introduces us to a 16-year-old in Arizona who is making it easier for patrons to find more accessible options.
And so, again, that's
for 28-year-old Tejas Surampudi, going out to eat comes with challenges. At age 10, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy and relies on a wheelchair.
A lot of restaurants are still not wheelchair accessible. There's steps to enter, and sometimes, you'll call the restaurant and they don't really know what you're asking, and they're like, oh, there's only one step. And it's like, well, one step is one step too many.
Tejas is the inspiration behind a new website designed by his 16-year-old cousin, Sanjit.
I thought it was insane how he couldn't eat food at a restaurant because of his wheelchair. So then he and I got together and tried to figure out a solution to the problem.
Sanjit Krishnamurthy was introduced to coding by his father at the age of 7. Now a junior at Brophy Prep, Sanjit and his older brother Rohit are the creators of Dinability.com. The site is an online guide to accessible dining for people with disabilities.
You can search 2 ways. You can do it by place or restaurant specifically.
They came up with the idea to scavenge the internet for restaurant reviews on sites like Yelp and other platforms.
We searched for specific keywords like wheelchair, dog, deaf, blind, ramp, and we pulled those reviews in, and then we used a ChatGPT API to give us sentiment analysis.
Currently, in its beta phase, the site allows users to select a category to get detailed customer reviews related to accessibility.
We have Deaf-friendly, blind-friendly, wheelchair-friendly, and dog-friendly. This one has 3 dog positive reviews.
Okay.
This one is not blind-friendly.
83-year-old Mark Shapiro suffered a stroke 3 years ago and uses a wheelchair to get around.
I'm liking this app because it'll show which restaurants ahead of time have all the accessibility that I would need. And if I'm not sure something, I can call them and find out.
Dineability.com currently covers Phoenix and San Francisco, with plans to expand to other major U.S. cities. Sanjit says his hope is that people with disabilities like his cousin Tejas can have the best dining experience possible despite their challenges.
I'm just happy to help him dine easier, because it's a tough process for him and like several other individuals.
That was Caribe Divine reporting. Something About the Brothers hopes to become a nonprofit and expand the website to include other venues like zoos and parks.
He did something no one in the world has ever done before.
A major milestone happening on Texas roads. Get a good look at this. That might have some folks doing a double take. The first ever driverless semi-truck has hauled frozen goods between Dallas and Houston. That's right, no human behind the wheel. Oh my goodness, that would scare me. So it's just the truck out there all by itself, according to the company Aurora Innovation. The system has undergone extensive testing, more than a decade of development, and millions of miles of test driving to ensure it can navigate public roads safely.
We have almost a 360-degree view around the entire vehicle. We can see 4 football fields in advance.
Whoa, that's crazy. The company says its mission is to make roads safer with their trucks, not needing drivers who can be fatigued or need to make frequent stops. I want to know how truck drivers feel about this one. If you are one or you have a family member who's one, let me know. We have more for you coming up on Featured. Here's a look at what's ahead. A friendship that grew with each trash pickup, how a boy showed his appreciation for his neighborhood garbage man. Plus, it took more than half a decade. Look at this, a viral post and a few good deeds to bring a family heirloom back home. We share the moment it was reunited with the owners. And a little bit later, bringing new life to secondhand clothing. We know folks love to thrift now. It's popular. It wasn't popular back then. Well, we meet a designer who's catching the eye of a pop icon with their sustainable and out-of-the-box styles. Welcome back. Now, you just can't put a price on family heirlooms passed down from generation to generation. So you can imagine how a Louisiana family felt when a piece of their heritage was lost. Now, little did they know, a stranger picked it up and kept it safe for 7 years. That is, until now. Rachel Handley shows us how the stranger made sure the generational piece was reunited with its family.
Rita Schelling walked into Oakland Hart Jewelers with a photo of this medal. She'd found it in the parking lot of a Sam's Club.
At the very first handicap spot, I see a box that says Oakland Hart.
She picked it up and vowed to find its owner. That was in 2018.
It was COVID. I put it on the shelf and pretty much forgot about it, honestly.
Luckily, there was a card inside with the name of an Oakland Hart sales associate, Candace Patterson. When Schelling brought the medal in 7 years after she found it, Patterson was still there to check it out.
It looked super familiar to me, but it felt like forever ago is the last time that I saw it.
She couldn't remember who it belonged to, and the store didn't have any record of its owner. She posted the story on Facebook.
I thought maybe the local community would kind of put a couple little posts out there and hopefully someone would see the story.
It reached a lot more people than she expected, with almost 1,000 shares. Within a few days, someone saw it and knew exactly who the medal belonged to.
Miss Jerry, this is Miss Rita. I'm Miss Rita.
Hi.
The mystery owners turned out to be Jerry and Phil Brissett. Wednesday afternoon, Schelling was able to return their medal.
I couldn't believe it. It's like,
oh my God. I said, it's a miracle. It's got to be a miracle.
Jerry Brissett gave the medal to Phil as a present more than 50 years ago. Their plan was to give it to their first grandson, Jordan, at his confirmation. They'd brought it to Oakland Heart to get it polished for him, went to Sam's Club right after, and didn't realize until later in the day that they'd dropped it.
I was devastated. Oh my God. Every time we go in Sam's, I think of it.
They brought Jordan along. Schelling was able to watch as he put the medal on for the first time.
And he's so appreciative. Does me all the good in the world.
And she was able to leave knowing she did a lot of good for the Brissetts too. Rachel Handley.
Okay, so Rachel tells us the owners of the jewelry store surprised Shelly with a gift card as a thank you for getting the medal back to its owners. Sounds like a happy ending for sure for all of those folks involved. I'm glad that worked out for them. Now look at this. A designer is putting sustainable fashion on a global stage. Gabby Mediak shows us how one piece caught a pop icon's attention and it led to a big moment in the spotlight.
My foundation is unorthodox. It's kind of rebelling against the uniformity.
Gen Z clothing designer Cloudy Joby has taken the fashion world by storm, channeling the spirit of their childhood and their love for the earth.
I hope that people feel like they're in the sky or like they're in the clouds or they're deeply connected to themselves and nature and their form of expression.
Born and raised in Harrisburg, Joby learned to hand sew in 2nd grade and only became acquainted with the sewing machine at 19 years old.
When I was younger, I would cut up my clothes and I would get in trouble for it and I didn't know why. It was bad to cut up clothes.
Joby's grown a lot since then, and so has their brand. They participated in every New York Fashion Week since 2022.
Every single year, I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. Something always pops up and someone's always reaching out to me, which is nice to have a community of people who see you and to have a spotlight on you when you're doing a lot of hard work and you want to make a change and be heard and be seen.
Bringing new life into secondhand clothing, Joby reimagines them.
It's the best for humans to reuse and be sustainable as possible, especially now.
And one of those pieces made its way into the hands of one of the biggest and brattiest pop divas around. Charli XCX.
At first, it didn't feel real.
Their partner is to thank for the connection.
He was like, you have to answer your phone because you'll never guess who's on the line. It's Charli and my friend. They want you to send a skirt or pieces that you have.
Charli XCX wore Joby's pink utopian pixie miniskirt on tour in London. It's been seen by hundreds of thousands of fans.
It picked up the spark again for my creative kind of lifestyle.
And Joby says this is just the beginning of a revolution in the art of design.
I believe the future of fashion is with people like me and young designers who have a vision, who have a brand, who have big ideas that they think about every day. And we're going to keep pursuing them because it's our purpose.
That was Gabby Mediak reporting now. I wasn't always into Charli's music, but that last album, Brat, I'm on board. All right, time for a quick break. Coming up in a few minutes. Look at this, the catch of a lifetime. A lot of folks talking about this. The sudden game of peekaboo is no match for this dad. He was on a mission. We'll show you what folks are saying about this incredible highlight from the baseball field. Plus, the power of music, how our choir is helping its members find purpose and family. All right, let's dive into what's trending on social media now. This may be the catch of the year. You got to see this. And it didn't even happen on the baseball field.
To catch the ball, she covers his eyes.
How about that?
And he still caught it.
It's dad power right there.
I can't catch the ball with my eyes open. Look at this dad during a Yankees game. A fan in the stands caught a ball while balancing his daughter on his shoulders. And you see, she covered his eyes as the ball was coming towards him. But somehow he still managed to make the blind catch. That is incredible. The video going viral with fans calling it the ultimate daddy-daughter day at the ballpark. We love a good daddy-daughter day. All right, you know, children are often fascinated with superheroes like Batman and Superman. My brother was so into Spider-Man when he was a toddler. That was his jam. A 9-year-old boy in Florida, for him, it is all about the garbage man. Now, his mom shared a video on social media showing her son Noah saying goodbye to their local sanitation worker who is retiring. She says he greeted him every Tuesday for 4 years. And Noah would even go around the community in a golf cart to follow the truck there, and watch him pick up the trash, a mom says. The weekly routine sparked a sweet friendship between the two, and on the garbage man's final visit, Noah surprised him with a bottle of water, a handwritten note, and some gifts to show his appreciation. That is so awesome. He's going to remember that man for the rest of his life. And that's a wrap on Trending. Here's a look at what's coming up next on Featured. When life gives you nuts, make pretzels. We'll share one man's journey from being bullied to becoming a businessman. Staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you some uplifting stories from across the country. Let's head to Maryland now, where a man overcame adversity in the kitchen. As a child, Marcus Moore was bullied for being different. Well, we know how that is. Fortunately, he didn't let that traumatic experience make him sour. Instead, Moore came up with a recipe for success. Sean Martinelli shows us how the entrepreneur is inspiring others with the salty snacks.
If a story about pretzels sounds too salty for your taste, rest assured.
It's gonna be really worth it.
Any salt in this story is no match for the sweet.
Yes, yes.
Sweet as cinnamon sugar, that's Marcus Moore.
Yeah, I could start scooping more, and no pun intended, more. Just more and more and more.
From this Maryland kitchen comes Marcus's creation, a line of pretzels called Moore Crunch.
And it's more than the pretzels. People love the pretzels, but they love the story behind it. But they really, really love the pretzels as well.
That story begins with a little boy and a big smile.
Has he always had that big smile?
As a child, yes, he's always had it. He was born with it. Now, again, you know, there were challenges in his life that took that smile away.
That's Marcus's dad, Walter.
The person that people see now is not, you know, who he was a long time ago.
Diagnosed with autism, this Marcus was different. He was lonely, he was bullied.
When you get called to school and your kid's in the corner getting beat up because they're different, you know. That's not an easy thing, you know.
Classmates tried to steal Marcus's joy. In this kitchen, he eventually got it back.
Yes, this pretzel is delicious. They're awesome.
Marcus arrived here after searching for something of his own.
I thought, why not pretzels?
Why not?
He did about three iterations of it. Honestly, it wasn't that good, and I didn't really think much of it. And then by the fourth one, he came to me and I tasted it, and it was outstanding. That is his way of sharing love with the world. You know, that's his way of saying, you know, giving everyone a big hug is through his snack food, his pretzels.
Those pretzels are now sold across dozens of locations. Customers buy into both Marcus's product and his story.
It just means a lot, like really. I'm sorry, that just means a lot.
Marcus once could not have imagined the support, nor could he have expected this.
Can we all give a warm clap and welcome to the man himself, Marcus Moore?
Before pretzels, Marcus worked at a Hilton Hotel restaurant. Today, that same hotel welcomed him back for a celebration.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, thank you.
The kid who was once lonely and bullied.
Absolutely, that's great to meet you.
Now embraced by strangers. One by one, people offered Marcus their praise.
I'll just tell you, Marcus, my favorite is the garlic crab.
Yeah, the crab, all right.
But as Marcus told us himself, this is about more than pretzels.
So Marcus, you have done so much more than create a business. You built a legacy, and you are showing others that their voice may matter, and your dreams are valid, and their futures are limitless, just like yours.
There is no greater impact than that.
I may be the first, but I won't be the last, and that's why I love more crunch, because the world needs more crunch.
More crunch and more Marcus.
Oh my goodness, I love that story, Marcus. We wish you all the success in the world. You deserve it. That was Sean Martinelli reporting. All right, now we know music can move us, but for some, it can mean so much more. And as Sean Giggy found out in Texas, music can provide a lifeline for folks who are struggling to stay afloat.
All right.
When 74-year-old Denise Queaton lost her job, her house, and every living family member, all in a span of 5 years.
It was a real rough time.
She lost hope. How bad did it get?
Well, I tried to end my life, and I was mad at God when he didn't let me go, but I'm so glad he didn't, because I found this group, and they saved my life.
Denise says she's still here because she came here. About 7 years ago, Denise joined the New Song Community Choir, catering to those 60 and older. She says this choir has made her heart sing.
It's the most wonderful feeling.
The choir meets weekly at Wilshire Baptist Church in Dallas.
We'll have it all organized.
It was founded in 2005 by Sarah Stafford.
All right, here we go.
Today, New Song is a nonprofit with 85 members from 28 churches. They sing largely for senior communities and hospitals.
Standing in the need of prayer.
Like Denise, many members are either lonely, retired, or widowed. Some who can't read music and have never sung. And yet they've found something harmonious.
It's given me more purpose.
It's a lot like a family. It's a place where they feel loved and a place for them.
It means everything to have people who care. This is my family now. I don't feel alone whatsoever because of this family.
Oh, good job. Okay.
In Dallas.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm Sean Giggy.
Great story from Sean Giggy. Now, while most teenagers are trying to master high school, one 16-year-old from Pennsylvania, he is working on mastering the guitar. His dedication has earned him a spot among the best young guitarists in the country. Tyler Pogslich shows us his journey to a national stage.
At just 16 years old, Alex Lee Warner has made a name for himself, ranked among the top 10 guitarists under 20 in the country.
It felt very natural to me. I never felt like it was like something that I had to adapt to or learn to. It was a part of me. I found that music is the one thing that I genuinely cannot stop doing.
His journey began 8 years ago with a little imagination and a pretend guitar.
So when I was around 8.5 years old, I picked up my first guitar, which in my mind was a baseball bat or a tennis racket.
That spark grew as he listened to legends like Stevie Ray Vaughan, his dad, pushing him to pick up a real guitar. Soon after, he found the guitar spot in Red Lion, where he met guitar mentor Trey Alexander. Alexander recognized Warner's rare talent right away.
And I was playing Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix at that time, because it's the first song I ever learned. And he comes out and he starts playing it. It was like watching a guitar god.
Alexander says among all of his students, Warner stands out.
It's amazing, the work he's put in and just the time he spent playing. You got to play a lot to get to that level, and then I'm lucky that I can push him in a way that just keeps getting him better, but it takes a lot of time on his part. You know, he put in the hard work, and that's what it takes.
Warner's dedication has earned him several honors, including Central Pennsylvania's Music Awards for Best Youth Instrumentalist and Best Cover Song for Baba O'Reilly.
It's very surreal. Like, it doesn't even feel like it even happened. It's pretty crazy. It definitely inspires you to kind of go outside of your box and learn new things.
He's no stranger to the big stages, already performing in Nashville and Memphis in the last year.
Whether it's one song, 10 songs, 100 songs, whatever it might be. So that's always my biggest thing, is thinking about, you know, myself and the crowd, and kind of getting it in my mind to just go out there, have fun.
That was Tyler Pogslich reporting. Now, we are keeping the music going for an adorable spin on a popular children's song. I don't know if I can take another change to a popular children's song. All right, let's go ahead and take a listen.
You know it, say yeah. If you're happy and you know it, say yeah. If you're happy and you know it, then you know it, so if you're happy and you know it, say yeah.
Okay, I think that was pretty impressive. The internet quickly fell in love with the 6-year-old and her black cat named BB. Her mom says the two are always together, whether it's playing around or singing. Now, the folks online love the duo. Many people on TikTok even call the little girl a Disney princess, and I'm sure she just ate that right up. She's loving it. How cute. All right, now this one's pretty interesting. Highways were shut down in Idaho for a sheep jam. All right, let's get into this. The annual passage brings out large crowds to watch the animals make their way to greener pastures. Zoe Tuttle takes us there as the sheep moved on to higher grounds.
Well, they've been coming all the way from his ranch, which is in Western Canyon County. So they've been grazing across alfalfa fields to Eagle, and now they cross the highway. And then they go on to public lands from here.
It's great fun. It's I've lived all over the country. This is the only place I've seen that does something like this, and it's just a really cool experience to go through.
Just to see the sheep in the wild doing their thing naturally. The kids like to see the different colors and see the dogs.
It's amazing to see such a large group of sheep just migrating basically down here. This is something you only get to see here in Idaho, so we're excited to come out and watch it.
I think it's going to be really fun to see so many sheep cross the road at one time. That's just going to be really fun. Really good experience. I think we're going to always remember. I like watching sheep every day, and I like watching sheep all day.
The biggest challenge here is just people management.
First time here, and it was a great event.
The Idaho people are amazing. You see things here you don't see anywhere else.
That was Zoe Tuttle reporting. Multiple reports show that road closures for the crossing are usually brief, lasting around 15 minutes, but the sheep's voyage doesn't end there. It can take the herd several days or even weeks to reach their destination. The tradition dates back about 150 years. And I bet this is quite a surprise for truck drivers in that area who know nothing about this annual event out there. Alrighty, we have much more for you ahead on Featured. Coming up next, we have one look at how this man can build pieces of artwork all from pipe cleaners. Yeah, more on that straight ahead. Great art comes in many forms, and in Maine, a 24-year-old man is bending and twisting pipe cleaners to create some eye-popping sculptures. But as David Guildford explains, that's just one of his many talents.
In Gardner, there's a place where adults can let their creativity flourish. Specifically, adults living with disabilities.
I love your guinea pigs. Yeah, the guinea pig is my favorite animal. I love.
This is Spindleworks, an art nonprofit since 1976 with another location in Brunswick. Its instructors know their stuff.
You know, as an artist, it just was a wonderful experience to get to know these artists, and each person has such a unique vision.
Brian Braley has worked here since 2011. There are non-art classes too, like French. In the middle of it all, every Thursday, is Keegan Companion.
I want to bring joy to other people.
A profound thing for any 24-year-old to say. Keegan knew he wanted to come here since he was a child.
My teachers, when they saw my work, told me something about Spindleworks.
He was destined for this place because, even back when he was a toddler, he learned he had a gift.
Can you show me a couple of these?
Yes, in fact I can. Ooh, yes.
These sculptures are made entirely from pipe cleaners, an often forgotten tool for cleaning tight spaces. In Keegan's hands, they take on life.
Usually I like to have one piece of pipe cleaner to kind of make the base of like the body. Then I wrap so much pipe cleaner that it kind of adds like muscle and a little bit of like texture.
He's made hundreds, maybe thousands.
Donald Duck.
Donald Duck, he said, contains 500 pipe cleaner pieces, but took him little more than an hour to finish because he has another gift, a photographic memory.
Yeah, my brain essentially is the blueprint. So how it works is I usually like look at a photo at one time, and then I stop looking at the photo and feel like, okay, I know exactly how to make this. I just got to figure out the correct components.
If he sees it once, he can probably build it. Across the room, he displayed his masterpiece, a fully wearable werewolf head and hands. After all, he needed a Halloween costume. It took 10,000 pipe cleaners and 1 year to complete. But his interests go beyond fun characters.
Keegan, he is such a kind human being. One of the local police station in Bath had lost one of their canines, and he had made a portrait of the canine and gave it to the police department just as a gift in honor of their lost police member.
Keegan is one of 60 artists supported by Spindleworks with various talents and interests.
So a lot of times art is my therapy because I enjoy art, but I also enjoy like showing off the work.
The nonprofit displays and helps them sell their work, earning them some money and a lot of pride.
Art gives people creative voice, and that creative voice is life-changing because it's an identity to be an artist and to be, so people who perhaps have been excluded from the community are suddenly the spotlight and can be seen for what value they bring to the community.
Keegan keeps making his art, but he's become a volunteer himself, paying it forward.
It even makes me emotional when talking about it. Like,
he calls it his dream job.
And without them, I wouldn't be here. And I love these guys a lot.
That is incredible. That was David Guilford reporting. In St. Louis, there's an art exhibit that looks fairly simple. 8 chairs surrounding an imaginary table. But it is much deeper than that. The works are meant to start some very real conversations. Renee Knott explains.
These chairs,
theme is chairs around a dinner table,
are more than what they appear to be.
To take an actual chair and to turn it into something more than a chair sounds a little bit more interesting.
The seats,
it was a very different project,
also represent an opportunity to be heard.
Populations of people that are super underrepresented and that need to have their voices heard.
The exhibit is called Your Voice, Your Seat.
Art is about communication.
Needles.
Hormone replacement therapy involves injections.
glitter, words, colors.
Gold is my favorite color in my paintings.
The artists designing their chairs by drawing from their personal experience.
I wanted to maybe reconcile my sensibilities as an artist with my thoughts as like a real human.
Be it a painful health issue,
Hormone replacement therapy involves injections.
ancestry,
I want to represent them with dignity and beauty and value, because I think we sometimes forget that.
or a feeling of insecurity.
You never wanted to be too much, too loud, too bold, too opinionated.
These seats are meant to inspire what can sometimes be hard conversations.
Bring that conversation to the forefront in a way that they can feel the emotional impact of it.
And in today's climate of uncertainty,
We are in a humanity crisis, definitely.
these artists believe the talks and freedom to express
There's so much to have an opinion about.
are needed.
Open their eyes to understanding the perspectives and the experiences of others.
The ultimate hope is for these chairs to empower the viewer
Be who you are, show up how you want to show up.
with the strength to be their true self.
Like really just showing up as who you are in all of your humanity.
That was Renee Knott reporting. We'll be right back with one last story on Featured. Stay with us.
Thinking on their feet with quick wit. These seniors say when you're old as dirt, all you can do is laugh about it. The Free Spirits Senior Improv Company wants to make you laugh. These jokesters range in age from 60 to 90 years old.
You don't have to think about it. You just have to do it.
Give it your best shot. Oh, except the alley's that way.
Their 50-minute show encourages
Just one word.
Jail.
High school.
audience participation.
An elephant.
I noticed the audience kept wanting jokes about pooping and romance. Are those common themes?
Yes.
A warning to everyone. No one in the crowd is safe.
I can feel those vibes from you. Zevery will tell us what to do.
This program is part of the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at UC San Diego,
You make baloney stiff.
where Ed Abeda believes laughter is the best medicine.
I think scientifically we can actually say that laughter is a very positive impact for our own day-to-day life.
Look at that one. It's spreading its wings all
Improv makes Eileen Hubbs feel like a kid again.
I am 62. Oh no, wait a minute. I'm 82. I keep forgetting that first number. Today we're going to see this in slow motion up on the screen.
One thing you won't forget is the first time you see this show.
I come here to laugh, and this show always makes me laugh.
You're baloney.
Never in 1,000 years did I think I would ever do improv. But we're part of the salad mix.
Beth Faber-Jacobs found her funny bone and a family.
And one of the things that I think all of us love about this is we come to rehearse and we laugh throughout the entire rehearsal, and you always leave feeling better than when you came in.
Are you looking for new members?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean you're closing your window? I just got called.
Just when they thought growing old was no laughing matter,
I love all these people. We have just formed such tight bonds.
these seniors found their happy place. I think we need a group hug. In the Zevely Zone and about Jeff Zevely.
That is so awesome. We all know a little laughter can go a long way to lift your spirit. Artie, that is it for Featured. I hope you found something that inspired you or simply made you smile. Until next time, make it a great one.